Hi, I'm Rachel and I have been showing people how to use baby carriers since 2014, and I'm going to show you all of my top tips for how to use a baby carrier that looks something like this, and let's go. So the first thing for setting up your carrier is when you're first learning how to use a baby carrier, you want to have these straps as loose as possible. The looser they are, the less flexible you're going to be. Of course, if you are very petite, you may not want to have it this long, but what I recommend is have it as loose as possible to start with. And when you work out how loose you actually need it, let's say you need it this loose to put it on. What you're going to do with this piece here is there is a little bit of a elasticy bit here. You're going to roll and roll and roll those up. Find exactly where that perfect spot was for you. Take a little bit of elastic, pop it over, okay? It's gonna do two things. One, it's not just gonna be dangling at your side being annoying, and two, when you put your carrier on, you're tightening it, when you take it off, loosening it, and it's just gonna go to that spot every time, and it's just gonna make it quicker and easier. If you are sharing the carrier with a partner, just get the partner who is less flexible to determine what the preferred length is, because otherwise the person who is less flexible, if the person who is more flexible sets the length, the person who's less flexible might get kind of stuck halfway in. But yeah, just be nice to each other when you're making that decision. Just, keep that in mind. So this is something that people either do not ever ask or ever notice and ever realize that this is even a possibility, or it's something that people massively overthink. It's where do you put the buckle on the slidey bit? Like it goes up and down. What is this for? So I find for most of the population, if it's sitting in the middle, they would never even notice that this thing even existed. So the middle is about right for most people. The only time I would really be adjusting them is if you are very broad through the shoulders, and I don't mean wide, I mean around the shoulders. Like if you are big from here to here, like if you are like wide or deep, you work out, I don't know, you might feel more comfortable with that lower down, because otherwise it might feel like it's cutting in underneath your armpit. Alternatively, if you're very, very small, very petite, through the shoulders, across you're just tiny, you might prefer it at the top. However, you also might prefer to cross the straps over. So this may be completely useless to you anyway. So the middle for most people, unless you feel uncomfortable, if you feel like it's cutting under your arm, there. But otherwise, don't touch it. What I see a lot of parents do with the Ergobaby type carriers or anything that has like these two sides to adjust from is they grab one side and they yank it all the way across. And lumbar support is now nowhere near the middle of your back, okay? So make sure you're pulling them both at the same time, right? So what you want to do, you want to keep it nice and loose when you pop it on. You're going to give it a little bit of a tighten on both sides until it's kind of staying a little bit up on its own. Then you're going to grab both at once and you're just going to go wiggle, wiggle, pull, pull until they are done, and they need to be about the same length. Like if these two things are the same length, this is in the middle of your back. Like, it's not hard, it's just don't grab one side and yank it on and then be like, oh, okay, I can't tighten the other one. Yep, got it. So the top two mistakes that I see people making when they put on baby carriers is they have the waistband too loose or too low. But even if but the first problem also just creates the second problem. So if it's too loose, even if you've got it to the right height, you let it go, it's just not going to stay there anyway. So you want it to be about as tight as you would have a belt. The other thing that I like to compare baby carriers to is a bra. So you want to have most of the support coming through from the waistband. So you want it to be nice and firm and supportive. And then this part just holds everything upright. Side note, if your bra sits like this, like if the back of your bra goes up and the front of your bra goes down, you need to go down a bra size and possibly up a cup size, but down a size in the band. So you need it to be like this. Nice and firm and supportive through here. And this is really just about keeping things up. So now you can see the waistband is sitting flat, it is sitting horizontal, just like your bra should be. Get yourself fitted if it's not. So my absolute, hands down, number one tip, and I want to tell absolutely everyone I possibly can about this, and some of you will be like, that's really obvious, we all do that, but not everyone knows about this. Do up this shoulder strap before you pick up the baby. do it up first. So then all you have to do is pop the baby on the waistband, pick up the panel, grab the buckle, chuck it over your head and pop your arms through the holes. You don't have to try to buckle it up over your head and not drop the baby at the same time. So just chuck it over, and then obviously you're gonna pull the tighten and adjust everything. But straight over your head is just so much easier when you're first learning how to use baby carrier. Okay, so when you are tightening your straps, if you have something like an Ergobaby carrier, you only have the buckle at the front to pull to tighten. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna tighten it from the front as far as you can. So you're gonna do both sides, just gonna pull it and pull it and pull it until it is as tight as it will go. Don't worry, you cannot really get it too tight. But you still feel like there's just all of this room sitting up here. What you're gonna do is you're gonna grab your thumb, you're gonna pop it down, like you're going, it's bad, I hate it. And then you're gonna chuck that thumb underneath that strap and you're gonna pull it down and forward, okay? Thumb goes down and forward. And then you're gonna pull that last little bit of tension out, and it's just gonna feel a lot better because what you're doing is creating a loop. So you're thinking about this, here goes that way, that way, that way, and here. So you wanna pull that loop around. It's really hard to point to my own shoulder. Maybe if I go whoop, 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 that way. I could probably just put arrows on the screen or something, but yeah, you wanna that way around. If you have a carrier that has a buckle here, just pull that bit forward and you'll be great. And then you'll just be so much more comfortable. So I did explain this in another video, but I'm gonna go through it again, what to do with the big, long, loose, strappy bits. What you can do is take out the excess. So when you're loosening it, you wanna work out how loose you need it to get it on, and then wherever that amount is, you can actually just wind them up. There is a little elasticy thing. Just pop it over, and then it won't be quite as dangly. So on the one hand, it looks like that, and on the other side, it's like this, right? So you can make it neat. You can do the same on your waistband and any other straps that are just like hanging off you. This looks a bit nicer, it's a little bit easier, and it feels a little bit less tangly when you're taking it off and on. Okay, now for like the most controversial topic when it comes to an Ergobaby carrier or anything similar is what are you supposed to do with this flappy, cushiony thing? So, firstly, for a newborn, you do not put it up high. If you have it this high, your baby is now breathing in their own air, like they're submerged into the carrier. You don't want to do that. You don't want to have them like this. What you want to be able to do when you're looking at yourself in the mirror is you roughly want to be able to see their ear. You cannot see their ear right now, so you do not want to have it this high. If it's down, I can see their ear. What this is for a brand new baby who does not have a lot of head support. What you can do, or head control I should say, you can tuck it in. It's gonna sit, I've got too much hair today. It will sit behind their neck like a neck pillow, like you would if you were on a long trip. So it's just gonna sit there, it's gonna help hold their head up. It's also gonna fill that extra space around their head and just kind of make them a little bit more cozy. And then it's got these little elasticy things if you've got an Ergobaby carrier that just kind of come around and loop onto there, so it will stay like that all the time for maybe the first, I don't know, few weeks, couple months, however long you feel that. When they start to just be like, I don't have enough room, then you're just gonna take it out, pop it, flip it, do it up on the outside like that. And that's just gonna, keep it out of the way until they are big enough that when you flip that up, that they are like this big. And at that point your waistband's gonna be down there, so it's actually gonna be like this, not this, but you know what I mean.